Yeah. So today we will see one concept of scroll bars. Positioning and other thing we will see. But as we start the layouting related things, we will work on that. So today we will see this part, scroll bars. So what do you mean by?
I'm not able to see your screen.
Yeah, just a minute. You can see now, right?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay. So here we are going to see overflow property, scroll bars. Scroll bars. CSS3 overflow property controls how content that overflows the boundaries of an element is displayed. The content, if you have some content, now let's, uh, have you worked on the Git? Hello?
No, you do it by like today and tomorrow.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, index.html, and here I can say style.css, HTML5, and overflow. And here, just a minute. Okay, so here let's have a div, and here I can say first link the CSS, link CSS in the current directory style.css, and we can create a class called as container. We can create the class called as container, and some random text, a paragraph we have, and some random text. Can you see? Git VS Code gives you random text also. So here you can say lorem and some random text you will see over here. Now what will happen? So here I can say dot container. Let's say dot container width 100% or 200 pixels, height 100 pixel. Let's apply border, border 1px solid red, 1px solid red. And if we open this, and you will see a problem clearly, right? The content is overflowing. Content is overflowing this container. That is the problem we have got. And this concept is called as overflow. The CSS overflow property controls how content that overflows the boundaries of an element is displayed. The CSS overflow property controls how content that overflows the boundaries of an element is displayed. It's a particularly useful when the content within the element exceeds the visible area, such as when text or images are too large to fit within the specified container. The overflow property handles these things. Now, if you see this, these many properties are available over here. Overflow visible is the default value. Content that overflows the element's boundaries will be displayed outside the element. Remember that. Default value is visible. Content that overflows the element's boundaries will be displayed outside the element. Potentially overlapping other elements, no scroll bars are added. Okay, overflow hidden. The content that overflows will be clipped and anything outside the element boundaries will not be visible. So this is the default thing, which is nothing but what you write it or you don't write it. Overflow visible. Content is visible. Whatever content outside the boundary of the element is visible. Hidden, you can say. Content, can you see? Content which is overflowing is not visible.
It is visible, but it's not visible.
It's not visible. It is there, but it is not visible. That's what the hidden is. And now comes two properties, scroll and auto. Now comes two properties, scroll and auto. Scroll bars are always visible even if the content doesn't overflow. See, what do you mean by scroll? Scroll bars are always visible even if the content doesn't overflow. If the content does overflow, both the horizontal and scroll bars will be present. So here we can say scroll. And now refresh it. Can you see? Horizontal, presently it is fitting, that's why there is no horizontal scroll bar. But vertical scroll bar is getting added. Can you see that?
Yeah.
That is nothing but what? The scroll property. Now after that there is a auto. What is the auto property? Scroll bars are only visible when content overflows. Horizontal and or vertical scroll bars are appeared as needed. The difference between scroll and auto is that scroll bars are always visible and as needed they are visible. As needed they are visible. If you make an auto over here, auto, refresh it, and as you require, only at that time scroll bars would be visible. So this is the Mac feature. This might be different to different as per your operating system. So this is nothing but what? Auto. Now see, these properties X and Y, overflow X, overflow Y, these properties allow you to control the overflow behavior for horizontal X and vertical X independently. So here we can say overflow. So overflow means both X and Y. Here you can say overflow Y. Here you can say scroll. Overflow Y, scroll, refresh it. Only one property you will handle. Only one property you will handle, right? Overflow X means horizontal scroll bar. Overflow X, which is nothing but what? Horizontal scroll bar. So in this way, what you can say, these properties allow you to control the behavior for horizontal X and the vertical Y directions independently. Okay. The overflow property provides control over how overflowing content is displayed. So one way to add the scroll bars. So when you need a scroll bar, if content is moving outside, correct?
Right, yeah. More than whatever element we have decided or box we have decided.
Correct. Now, next part, sometimes what happens, so actually it is not required to teach, but I want to teach you WebKit related properties. Okay. So what do you mean by WebKit related First, we will implement that scroll bar. Let's go to the scroll bars. Actually, it's the overflow. And just a minute. Okay. Now, if you see here, if you see here, just a minute, just a minute. So, what we can do, we can create so here if you see, okay, so this is our container we have. I will switch to the overflow auto and see now what I wanted to do. If you see over here, so this bar I want to create on my own. So how to do that? So first we can say dot, sorry, go here, dot container colon. See, WebKit. What is a WebKit? You'll get to know. WebKit scroll bar hyphen WebKit scroll bar width. You can say 15 pixels. Okay, refresh it. And see the default scroll bar has been disappeared. Can you see that? And something over here with the 15 pixel is getting added. Now we can say dot container dot.
Can you explain that again? Like, can you go back? So we used to have a scroll bar initially. Now,
Yeah.
what's
See now, refresh it here. Can you see you have a
okay,
default
have
kind
a
of
typical scroll bar which we see.
yeah default kind of scroll bar we have. Now if you go over here width 15 px, so default behavior would be getting altered and something is not available over here. Now we need to design our own scroll bar.
Text itself is scrolling.
Scrolling, yeah. So only one thing we have added. Now we are customizing our own scroll bar, right? So you can say dot container colon track. We need to provide the track color WebKit hyphen scroll bar WebKit hyphen scroll bar hyphen track. So presently track is disappeared. So let's add the track over here. And here we can say background color red. Refresh it. Can you see? So this track is available over here. On this track now scroll bar will run. So track width is 15 px and track color is red. So let's create dot container here. WebKit.
No, so we are able to see track like the width 15 px, but if it scroll, is that visible now?
No, not visible. Still it is not visible. So we are writing that. So that thing is called as thumb.
Okay, so basically we have just added as of now the track, but it's not there.
Yeah, correct. So WebKit scroll bar thumb. So whatever you use for scrolling up and down, that little widget is called as thumb. Let's make it blue colored. Now you will see that particular thing. Can you see?
Yeah.
So that blue colored thing is called as thumb. By means of this thumb, you can do this thing, right? So WebKit scroll bar. So here you can say WebKit scroll bar width 15 pixel. Then dot container WebKit scroll bar track background color red. Dot container WebKit scroll bar thumb background color blue. Thumb is this, and track is this. So whatever you see in the red, the place where scroll bar is running, that thing is called as track.
So first we provided a width.
Correct?
Second we added a track. Third
Yeah.
we added a thumb.
Thumb. So what you did exactly right now? You have customized one of the browser feature, that is the scroll bar. If you go to the WebKit properties, what do you mean by WebKit properties? So whole and sole intention of teaching you or telling you a customized customized scroll bar is just to make you aware of something called as -WebKit. -WebKit. So what is this? So what is this? So those things are called as WebKit properties. WebKit properties. What is a WebKit? A WebKit refers to open source browser engine that powers many web browsers, including Safari, Google Chrome, and the various other browsers. It's a rendering engine that processes HTML, CSS, and JavaScript to display the web content on the user screen. It's a rendering engine that processes HTML, CSS, and JavaScript to display the content on the user screen. That is the WebKit. Okay. Now, here you can say, in the context of the CSS, WebKit properties usually refers to the CSS properties and the features that are specific to the WebKit engine. These properties were originally introduced and implemented by WebKit, and they may not be supported in the other browser. These properties were originally introduced and implemented by WebKit. Remember that there is one open source engine called as WebKit. So you got it, what I mean to say, right? There is an open source engine which is available over here. Can you see? GitHub
So
WebKit.
basically, whichever browser we are using, the plugin or something is already available with that browser as like WebKit. That particular thing is already available.
Correct.
We can use those properties wherever needed, but not sure will that be. I'm sorry, not sure will that work on different browsers. That's what you're saying, right?
See here, this is a WebKit open source repository we have. A home of the WebKit project, the browser engine used by Safari, Mail, App Store, and many other applications on the Mac OS, iOS, and Linux. WebKit is a cross-platform browser engine. So all your browsers that we are using right now, Chrome and other thing, they are built on the top of this. They are built on the top of this engine, and this engine has some settings internally, and you are changing that settings over here. Means this browser, if we remove all these things, if you remove all these things and refresh it, this is the default, what you can say, this is the default kind of setting for the scroll bar. This is the default kind of setting for the scroll bar. But you want to change internal APIs for the scroll bar. Whatever has been written in the browser, that part you need to change on your own. And if you want to do that, you need to have access to some of the Webkit properties. In many of the implementations, you might see something called as Webkit-scroll bar, Webkit-scroll bar track, right? So from where it is coming? It is coming from here.
Yeah, got it. So basically, that's what. So for any browser, like this is like whatever. What do you say? Um, it will write property example that overflows to it will work, but if you want to override that one and go
Correct.
beyond that, we need to use WebKit like
If you need your own customized kind of thing,
customized kind of.
so you need to change internal browser related properties, and that are nothing but what? These WebKit. It is important to note that many of the WebKit specific properties, properties used to have a hyphen WebKit hyphen prefix. So you will find this prefix everywhere. See now here, hyphen WebKit hyphen. Can you see hyphen WebKit hyphen WebKit hyphen? To indicate that they were proprietary features introduced by Webkit engine. Over the time, as these features gained the wider acceptance and were standardized, they were often implemented with the standard property names by and remove the prefixes. Right? For the compatibility reasons, you might still find hyphen WebKit hyphen prefixed properties in the older code bases or when working with the legacy systems. Remember that. Now, always refer the latest browser documentation for up-to-date information on the property support. Just to tell you, these things are available. These things are available in your code base. If you are working with the older code base, you might find something like, or you even might find something called as Moz. Can you see Moz? This is also same. This is from the Mozilla Firefox. There is one engine internally used, and that is nothing but what? Mozilla Firefox. Getting that? Moz-Moz. These are the properties from the Mozilla Firefox. So if you see something like this, please don't get confused. What is this? This is not the CSS property. Well, it is a CSS property. It is a
I saw this one like earlier in my current project.
Correct.
We got to know that okay, this is from legacy system, and if needed, we can override.
Correct. Correct. But from where it is coming? It is coming from this engine, Webkit engine, which is an integral part of this browser. And you are tweaking these things. Okay. Now, just a minute. Now, what we need to do over here, if we don't want to use these things, so I think there are some properties. Scroll bar color, can you see scroll bar width is 15 px. Scroll bar, we need to search for these properties. Scroll bar track color, okay, can you see red?
Okay, the track and thumb will be similar in that case.
Correct. So scroll bar width we have used. Okay, let us see this much works or not. We need to find out the property for thumb. Let's comment this out. Determines the color. Okay, go here. No, it's not working. Scroll bar width 15. Just a minute. Now scroll bar just make it scroll bar color. So here Webkit scroll bar display none we need to set. Now it has been removed, but see, I'm not getting these properties. If you want to do without WebKit, that is also possible, but we need to find out the concern properties. That's not a big deal, we can find it out, but let's not invest time on that, right?
Yeah, I got it. So we can do it using a WebKit. If we want to do a similar fashion, we do have certain properties.
Correct.
Definitely we need to find it, but yeah.
Correct. For the compatible, so I wanted to show you meaning of this paragraph. For the compatible reasons, you might still find WebKit prefix properties in the older code bases or when working with the legacy systems. Always refer to the browser documentation and most up-to-date information on the proprietary support. Sorry, on property support, I'm sorry. So we need to find out the properties, which properties will do all these things. But that is absolutely possible. And even WebKit is also, if you don't want to go with the newly created properties, WebKit related properties will be there, and that will help you every time, right? So here I can say CSS3 overflow. So we have seen this overflow. Now another important topic related to CSS3. So whenever you work with this is a visibility. Let's try to understand what do you mean by visibility. So here let's create a new page. vsb.html and new file vsb.css. So let me close all these things. HTML5 visibility. Visibility can be handled in the two ways. We'll see that. And here I can have div, class, box or container, whatever it is. And then we can say dot box, width 200 pixels, height 300 pixels, and some background color, cadet blue. Okay. So let's go to the day 10 and vsb.html. Okay. So can you tell me what's happening? Why it is not visible over here? So it's not visible. There is nothing fancy thing. Just you didn't imported the CSS. That's it. That was the silly mistake. And here you can say,
okay, we didn't apply it.
yeah, vsb.css, refresh it. We got this box. Now I want to hide this box. Okay, let's do in this way. Box, and I can create one more box, or we call it as dot red, and I can say background color red. Okay, so here we can go and I can apply a red color over here, red, and refresh it. Can you see one cadet blue box, another one red box, cadet blue box, another one red box. Now I want to hide this thing. See now, meaning of hide. So here I can
So
go.
we have applied two classes.
Uh-huh.
One is box related detail, where we have a background color of cadet blue.
Uh-huh.
Then again we are applying red.
Correct.
And red is like, but just wanted to check like why red is getting applied at. Oh, okay, for the second div. Sorry.
Second div. For the second div, red is getting applied. Correct? I will open both the things in front of you. So
Yep.
if you have any confusion, it would be getting cleared.
No, yeah.
Now,
So is it like, okay, the box is getting applied. On top of that, we are adding red. So red properties having more precedence than box, no?
overriding. So here,
Overriding basically.
so you are just overriding this color. So here, in one class, if you have this property and if you apply this thing over here, now just try to change the sequence, red and box. Now what will happen? Can you see? See now.
No?
Why? That's the question. Red and the box. So you cannot answer this question right now. For that thing, you need to learn something called as specificity. So there is one more topic called as specificity. How do you work with all these things? You cannot answer this thing right now. If you want to answer that, you need to know one more principle called as specificity. Okay, just a minute. Webkit properties we have seen. CSS rules we will see. Now we are understanding visibility. Okay. So here if you can see, this is the red, dot red. And over here, this is the cadet blue. But here, red is applied still. Now let's do one thing. Let's copy this over here and let's copy this over here. Now what would be answer? Can you see? which means that you can come to the conclusion that ordering of the styles is also important in certain cases. So you will understand this thing at the time of specificity, the concept of specificity. So here ordering doesn't matter. Ordering matters over here. This is an interview type question. Correct?
Right. No, I got it now. Until file should be in proper sequence in CSS file, we can apply whatever like which way we want in the HTML, but yeah, proper sequence should be there in CSS file.
Yeah, and now see, if you here, one more thing I will show you now. If you write in this way, and here it becomes caded blue, right? And here, okay, so let's do in this way. Okay, let's not invest time on this concept. This is altogether different thing. We will see at the time of specificity.
Right. Well, whichever way you feel comfortable with.
Yeah. So let's try to understand the visibility related concern. So here, this is red. So let's do properly red and this thing. Now what I wanted to do, I want to hide this guy. So see, I'm saying hide. So what do you expect? This to take place of this, or this should remain empty? So what do you expect? Hiding this means what? Occupying the space, or space should be there?
Occupying the space, we are hiding as of now.
Yeah, we are hiding. So what would be your answer? What do you expect? This just appearance is gone and the space is there, or you want red to be over here?
No, I want like I'm saying hiding. That means like okay, this should be space should not be there basically.
So red should be here, you mean to say?
Yeah.
Okay. See, now that is the concern. When you say visibility hidden, it is something different. Okay. What's happening? Both are the boxes. That's why if you hide this is also box, this is also box, right? So both would be getting hidden. So here we can say hide it. Let's create a class hide it, and visibility hidden, and you want to hide this guy, so you can say hide it, or if you want to more readable, hide it, and refresh it now. Okay, visibility hidden, refresh it. See here, meaning of hide is different. So when you say hide, space would be there, element would be just disappeared, space would be there. You cannot, so this red cannot occupy this space because element is there, and just it is not visible right now, but element is there, space is there. In other words, if you can go here, can you see this element is available right now here, it has not gone, element is here. So there is one more property, right, to remove this element from the programmatical DOM, that is display none. Can you see now? I have written display none. Can you see red has been shifted to the top? So this is the interview type question. Difference between visibility and display. What is the difference between visibility and display? So when you say visible or invisible or hide, element will just change its appearance. Element will simply change the appearance. Whenever you say display none, element would be removed from memory. Element would be removed from the memory. There is no element in the memory. Well, we cannot see that here. But technically in the memory this element is not there. This has been removed. And that is nothing but the difference between visibility and I can write display also. To the display there are a lot of properties. Display, block means add. Block means what? Add the element. Element is there, and because of the visibility is hidden, it is not appeared. And display none, when you say, element would be removed and space also would be released for other elements to move from here and there. Correct?
Yeah. What other properties do it like? I've never used, but yeah, I know that like flex or
Yeah, we'll see
align
that.
something. What would those do?
So display, block is there, flex is there, grid is there. So these properties we are going to say display flex, display grid, right? And there are other properties also, a lot of other properties also. Display table, but generally you use display flex, display grid, block and none, right?
So what do you mean by flex in this case? Like,
Yeah,
what
yeah,
would
we'll
be
see.
would
We
be-
need 3 sessions to understand the flex,
okay.
right? It's not that easy. We need to understand a lot of things in the flex.
Because yeah, I would say that here I was just trying. Okay, we'll have different options here, like flex, and like just to make it work. But I don't know the exact significance
Yeah,
why
we
I need to.
correct. We have a separate topic on that under the layouts,
Oh,
flex box and the grid layout. Here we have seen the display property block and none, and display flex and display grid. These are two altogether the foundations of the responsive design. You need to know a lot of things up before that. Okay, so one of that is display and visibility. That was two important concepts we have seen. So let me commit this CSS3 display, sorry, visibility and display. Just give me a minute, I'll be back in a minute. So display visibility and the display, two things I have written. So let me add display also over here. Display block, when you say display block, it is visible. CSS3 display. Display property. Okay. Now we have seen colors, box model, colors, fonts, WebKit properties, scroll bar, visibility. Now let's see about image properties. What are the image properties? And we can see the background also. So when you say image, let's have image. Let's go to the how to show image on the screen. Here we can say image demo or img.html. So HTML5 image demo. Let's have img tag. Okay, let's try to download some images from internet. So we can have, let's go to the Wikipedia image, one of the smiley. Let's try to get this smiley. Save image as desktop. This is the Mon project, day 10. Inside day 10, we will store this image. And if you can see, rename sm.png. This is sm.png we have. Now see, image tag, we need to show image. How do you show image? Image img src img src. So what do you mean by src? Source.
Yes, source.
So in the current directory, there is a
Yeah,
sm.png.
basically, okay, source means like, okay, we need to, like, from which directory we need to share. Currently,
Correct.
it's like our local directory, but basically, path we need to share.
Correct. So alt tag we have, and we can say be happy. Alternative text. If image is not there, this text would be shown. So let us see what happens if I do as it is. I don't make any change, and here I can say sm dot, okay, not this, sm.html, img.html. Can you see? So this image is there in the full form. So if you don't provide anything, image will be getting displayed like this. So let's create img.css to control this. Img.css, import first thing, link rel img.css, and let's target this image by name of its tag. So here we can say width 200 pixels, height 200 pixels, 200 pixels and 200 pixels. Can you see this image? We have 200 pixels and 200 pixels, right? Now Now what we will do, let's give some background color, gray, this one. And can you see image is edge to edge? We have this image, like this. So now we can apply some things called as object fit. Say fill, refresh it. Okay, cover. Okay, it will not change.
What it does?
Yeah,
Sorry.
just a minute, I'll explain you. You'll get to know what exactly happening.
Oh.
Okay, so here, oh okay, got it. Let's have a div, sorry, and inside this div let's add this image. Class, we can say 300 pixels. Class, we can say dot container, container, dot container. Say width and height this much, width and height this much. Okay, this is the img, and let's add some border, 1px. Let's have a shorthand notation, 1px solid red. Overflow hidden. Overflow what? Hidden. What is the overflow hidden? Here we can say width 100%. Now if you see, actually inside this there is an image. Image is available inside this, but image is way bigger. If we can say overflow auto, here you will find,
Okay, something is moving kind of here.
just remove this, overflow hidden. Okay, refresh it. Yeah, can you see scroll, horizontal scroll bar is there, image is actually present.
Okay, okay.
So if this is the scenario, so inside this container image is going beyond the dimensions. Okay, how to handle this scenario? This is the general trend you need to handle. So here instead of auto, I can say hidden. Just don't allow content to be overflow outside the boundaries. Okay, and here I can say width 100%, height 100%, and let's comment this thing. So background color not to the image, but we'll give background color to this container. Okay, now width 100% and 100%, that's why it is showing properly. But
Okay, 100% is of 200, right?
yeah, 100% of 200 pixels. Getting my point? Hello?
Yes.
Now
Yep.
let's use the
Rather than free floating all over, we are limiting that to a percent. Whatever visible thing is available, like that is 200, 200. We are limiting within that.
Yeah.
Using width and
Yeah, correct. Now that is decided by this property, object fit. So object fit property in the CSS used to control how image elements content is scaled and positioned within its container. Fill, the content is stretched to completely fill the container, possibly causing it is distorted and aspect ratio doesn't match. Say fill. You can say this thing is as fill. Just a minute. Just a minute. Object fill, object fit cover. I think this width and height is creating problem. Cover fill, let us see. Contain the just a minute. Contain, just make it as contain. And if I refresh it, okay, it is not getting width and height. Just give me a minute. Width and height, contain fill, content fill, what is missing? Content cover, content fill. Okay, what we will do, let's continue on Monday. Let me check what's happening over here. Is that okay?
Yes, yes, that will work.
Yeah. So we will see. Fine.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.